Chronic Gamer. Today we're going to be reviewing Cam. Cam is one of those movies that I want to like it so bad. Like, you don't understand. I feel like it has so many good qualities going for it. Acting, most of the story, the realism behind it, the score, the tension, all of it is working really well, and it's all absolutely destroyed for me by the fact that it is not explained in the slightest. So just starting from story, the setup for it was pretty good. I think it was a little long. It's like a 30-minute act one for an hour and a half long movie, which isn't terrible, but typically you want to get to the second act, the conflict, like as quickly as you can. So for an hour and a half movie, usually that's like 10-15 minutes in, 20 at the most. So 30 was dragging it just a little bit for me. Still not as bad as The Amazing Spider-Man making me wait till like 59 minutes into the movie to finally introduce the main villain, but whatever. The realism behind all of the encounters she has with these guys who donate to her and her cam shows and everything, like, it felt very real, and I can't say for sure if it actually is or not, but just the way it all was filmed and the way it felt, it seemed like it was based on like previous experiences or some experience in that world. And after doing a little bit of research, the director has a little bit of experience in that world. So that explains how it felt so weirdly surreal, but also very grounded in what the world is like. The story deals really well with how she tries to hide it from her family and their reaction. Minus the part when her mom says, like, no, I kind of like it, like, you're a whole other person. I really don't buy that any mom would just be super cool with it. Maybe after you sat down with her and explained why you're good at it, why you like it, why this, why that, whatever, I think maybe that could happen. But after not talking to each other for what seems like it was a week or two maybe, and things were not super good with them, I don't really see the mom just being like, no, I kind of like that you do that now. Like, that just felt weird. But the way she has to degrade herself in certain ways that don't seem like a big deal, but feel wrong. Like when she's on her cam show eating steak and they're like telling her to like use her fingers and just eat it straight like that, and she's just like dripping it all over her face and everything. Like, they love it, and it's so creepy. It's just disgusting. It's weird, but that's the point, obviously. It's meant to show you the lengths that people will go to in order to, you know, become number one, to do what you gotta do to get the money. I totally get it. And super kudos to this movie for never once making any of her clients or any of those creepy fucks some kind of help or hero to her. Like, she needed to use one or two of them to get some information, and that was it. So I really appreciated that. And once the conflict got started and you are just left with these huge questions of how are they doing this to her? Why are they doing this to her? Who... Like, it's so mind-boggling, and the tension is really well done in those... any of those scenes where she's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on or how to stop it. Like, you truly feel her desperation because she exhausts so many options. She tries to contact tech support, they're no help. She tries to contact the police, they're no help. She tries to contact the girl who is seemingly working with this person who has stolen her face, and she finds out she's fucking dead, which was a great twist, by the way. That got my jaw to drop. I was like, what? That's crazy. But then when the movie finally wraps up, you never get an answer to the how, the why, or the who. If they had answered just one of those, like, is it a government organization doing it to her? Is it someone seeking revenge on her? Is it some weird tech program that is able to perfectly emulate a person's voice and image? Like, what? Give me an answer. Just one of those things. Something. I needed something to grasp at the bigger picture here, and I just never get it. They just completely gloss over that. She, succeeds in getting her password back, which is a very tense, well done scene and everything, but just feels like there's no resolution because you don't know how any of this happened. Why did this happen? And she ends the movie by becoming a cam girl under a different name to, start doing this all again. And again, I get the purpose, or at least I think I do. Like, she's gotten good at doing that. It gets her a lot of money. She's living in a house that she's got to pay for and everything. And she thinks she's taking care of the problem. But that's my thing. You never find out what the problem was. So how are you about to go through all this again? Like, you have no idea if they're going to do it again. You have no idea. I don't know. This movie would have just been solved. It would have been easy 9 out of 10 if they would have just given me some kind of answer. Besides that, though, the acting was really, really good. The main character, Alice, played by Madeline Brewer, was just fantastic. Like, she was so, so good. She played the ditzy cuteness of a cam girl, just trying to work the tips and everything perfectly.
Did you like the show? Number 1, here I come.
She played the raw emotional intensity of seeing someone who looks exactly like you blow their brains out. The embarrassment and guilt over your family finding out about all of these things that you do in your private life.
I was gonna tell you.
She just did such a good job. I've seen her in a couple other things. She was in a Black Mirror episode that was really, really good. She's just one of those actors I really want to see in bigger roles and everything because she's so good. I don't know why she flies under the radar for such big pictures. The cinematography in the movie was really good. There were a lot of moments where all you see is a computer screen, and they create really good tension and world building with that as well. All the real world scenes are usually very neutrally lit and feel just very natural, organic, whereas all the scenes with crazy amounts of tension or anything having to do with her being a cam girl and putting on a show or anything, those are all lit with really bright colors, neons, and just things that sort of excite the eye. That being said, there are some really, really like raunchy moments in this movie. Like, there's some really sexually explicit scenes that I definitely can't show because it goes pretty far, like very far. And the suicide scenes and the scene where she breaks her nose like to pieces, they're very graphic and everything. So it's not a movie for the faint of heart, I will say that. The music was also very appropriate for every scene. It was either very glitzy, glamorous for the cam shows, or it was really dark and intense for the moments when you're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Even though a lot of the characters were incredibly unlikable or just despicable people, they all felt very, very real. So I appreciate the writing for all of them and the acting on their parts. Like, that was really well done. Tinker was the creepiest creep fucking ever. The dude who straight up like tried to kidnap and rape her, I don't even remember his name. He was just horrible. But also I 100% buy there are thousands and thousands of disgusting old men exactly like him. Like, the movie really sold its characters as real people, and I really like that. That was one thing that Breaking Bad was super, super good at, which made it feel so real. Final verdict on it, as much as I want to give it a high score, I just can't. It's a 6 out of 10 for me. Every piece of the movie added up to make it really good, and then the fact that nothing is explained and the story is left just hanging like that just absolutely kills it for me. I see where the critics for the movie are coming from, how it's very well made and deserves, all the praise, blah blah blah, but I cannot get past that it is an unexplained mystery forever. I've said it before, sometimes I like being left in the dark a little bit, but sometimes I need some kind of answer for me to understand what's going on. This was definitely one of those times. So do I recommend watching it? It has enough moments in it that are worth watching, so I do recommend you give it a try, but I don't want anybody to get their hopes up. If you like it, great. If you don't, I warned you. And that's just about it.